Ms. Trujillo, you may resume. Ms. Rodriguez, I will remind you that you are still under oath.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Rodriguez, I apologize. I'm going to show you this again, okay?
Okay.
How do you feel looking at that?
Objection.
What's the basis for the objection?
Calls for sympathy.
All right, I'll overrule the objection.
Ms. Rodriguez, how do you feel looking at that?
A lot of emotions, like,
Yeah. Can you tell us what an emotion, does it make you nervous?
yeah.
Bleeding.
I'll allow the question.
Are you scared?
I wouldn't necessarily say scared, but somewhat.
Okay. Can you explain what that somewhat is about?
Like, I feel like it's just like the main thing that goes back to.
Does it bring you back to October 3rd?
Yeah, it does.
Is that difficult to talk about?
Yeah.
We're going to have to talk about it a little bit, okay?
Okay.
So, we were talking about the shiv that he showed you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Is that a piece of it?
Yes.
Did a piece break off at one point?
Yes, it did.
And we're going to get into that, okay?
Okay.
I want to, going to move this, okay?
Okay.
Did Mr. Dickerson ever share with you fights he had been in before?
Yeah, he did.
When we were talking about a conversation, do you remember us just talking about before the break a conversation you all were having in the kitchen?
Yes.
Did that come up in that conversation you had in the kitchen?
Yes, it did.
And without saying, where these occurred, okay? Besides the conversation in the kitchen, but what he's telling you, okay? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. Can you please tell us what he said about the fights without saying where they occurred?
Like what he did or what he seen?
What he did.
He said that he would fight and that he would always have that thing with him.
Okay. When we talk about that thing, are we talking about that file?
Yeah.
Okay. And did he tell you that he always had that with him before or after you saw it?
After he showed it to us.
Okay. So just for clarity purposes, did he tell you about the fights before you saw that?
No, it was after he brought it out.
Okay, so that conversation happened in
Yeah, all that happened after.
Okay. And are you still in the kitchen?
Yeah.
When he tells you that he got in fights before and always had that on him, how did that make you feel?
Uncomfortable.
Why?
Because, I don't know, it's just not something, that's not what a normal conversation would go to, so I'm just like,
Okay. At that point, did you start to feel a little nervous about being around him?
Yes, I did.
Objection, leading.
I will sustain the objection. If you want to rephrase, go ahead.
Were you nervous to be around him?
Yeah, I was.
Was that after that conversation you had?
Yeah.
Was it after seeing that file?
Yes.
What made you feel uncomfortable or nervous?
Just the fact that he brought it out after I had, yeah.
Okay. Was it after you had asked him a question?
Yeah.
And when you had asked him a question, was it kind of just about the fights and what he had gone through?
Yeah.
And did you ask him about the fights and what he had gone through? And what did you ask him?
I don't know how to say that without, like...
Okay. Yeah. Did you ask him that having the fights with that weapon on him, did you ask him if that made him a man?
Objection, leading.
Not
Although,
specifically.
and Ms. Rodriguez, I have to rule on the objection first. I'll allow that question.
Okay. Do you want me to re-ask that?
Yeah.
When he was telling you that he had gotten in fights before with other people and had always had that file on him, the shiv that you called it, did you ask him if that made him a man?
Yeah, but not particularly to that.
What do you mean to that? Let me rephrase.
Yeah.
That's helpful. When you asked him, does that make you a man? What did you mean by asking him that?
About where he was at, when these places took place.
Yeah. Were you trying to put him down?
No.
Okay. Were you more or less asking him if that made him a...
Reading.
I'm going to allow the leading question given the record I previously made.
Did you ask him if that made him a man in the sense of it made him grow up?
Yeah, it was more like a general question along that, yes.
Okay. If it made him more mature
Yeah.
or changed who he was?
Yeah, the mindset to be better.
When you asked him that question, how did Mr. Dickerson respond?
He was upset
How could you tell he was upset?
because he like took a step closer and he's like, "Are you calling me a bitch?"
Okay.
And he's like, "What'd you say? Are you calling me a bitch?"
I just want it to be clear, you said, does that make you a man? And he said, what? Are you calling me a bitch?
He said, "What did you say? Are you calling me a bitch?"
And what did you say?
No.
Did you try to explain what you meant by that question?
Yeah, well, he asked me to say it again, so I did.
How did you feel when he said, say it again?
That I shouldn't say it again, but he kept asking me, so I felt like I had to.
Can you please tell us where you were when you were having this conversation? Just where you were first.
I was in the middle of the kitchen.
Was your back toward anything?
Not at this point, no.
Let's see. I want to see if a diagram might be helpful. I apologize. I didn't go right behind that. So, Ms. Rodriguez, I kind of want to talk about this over here. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So this conversation in the kitchen when he's telling you that he's been in fights before and has a pedophile with him all the time, and he kind of gets upset that you ask him if that made him a man, you're in this area of the home.
Yeah, kind of like a little bit in front where there were kitchens are. Yeah, kind of like where, like right here, like right there.
Okay. What is right here? Do you remember?
It's kind of close to like there. I believe there's a refrigerator, and then there's like a table right here.
And then here, is this the door to go to the garage?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. When you are here and having this conversation, how does he approach you when you said he was angry?
So he was like initially standing right here, and then he takes like a step closer towards me. I'm like right here.
And then what happens?
He continues to keep getting closer, and like he starts yelling and stuff.
How close is he when he's yelling at you?
He's pretty close. Like I could feel his breath in my face.
When you are having this conversation or argument with him, are you pushed up against anything at this point?
Well, I slowly started to go back.
Okay, to this door to get to the garage?
To like the counters over here. I wasn't just walking backwards.
Okay, so you're just walking backwards blindly,
Yeah.
kind of. Okay, and you end up by these cabinets?
Yeah.
Tell us what happens then.
I couldn't go back no more, so I started going to the side.
To this door?
More to the corner.
To the corner?
Yeah.
Okay, what happens when you move to the corner?
He gets in my face even closer.
He gets in your face even closer?
Yeah.
What is he looking like when he's in your face?
He's like mad yelling.
How tall is he? Is he much taller than you?
Yeah, there's a big difference.
If he was standing above you, did you have to look up at him?
Yeah, I did.
So we're moving over to the corner. What happens when you're in the corner?
He like puts his arms like on the sides of me.
Okay. So he's putting his arms on the side of you.
Yeah,
Is your back up against something?
Yeah, I was on the wall.
Okay, on the wall.
Yeah.
And the wall in the corner by the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Away from the cabinets.
Yeah.
And you said his hands are on the wall,
Yeah, but like on the sides of me.
on the sides of you,
Yeah.
above your shoulders?
No, like right at them.
Okay. Is he touching you?
No.
You said he's yelling at you?
Yeah.
What is he saying?
So you call me a bitch? He keeps like repeating the same thing over.
Is he yelling at you?
Yeah.
You said that his face was close to you, but he was taller than you. So was he looking down on you?
Yeah, he was.
Could you feel his breath?
Yeah.
Could you feel anything else coming from his face?
Yeah, he was kind of like spitting a little bit, so it was kind of hitting me in my face.
Did you feel like he was intentionally spitting on you?
I don't feel like he was intentionally spitting on me, but I feel like just like the whole thing of like the whole yelling and like being angry, like he like lost control of his like saliva or something because it was hitting me.
Okay. What happens then? He has his hands on either side of you, towering over you, yelling in your face where you can feel his breath.
Testifying.
What happens next?
Give me just a second here. I'll allow the question as to what happened next.
I'll rephrase. Or I will say it again. You're in the corner. His arms are over you. He is leaning over you, yelling in your face, saying, "Did you call me a bitch?" You can feel his breath and his spit. What happens?
Well, I kind of just like, I was trying not to make eye contact or nothing because I didn't want to do something that was going to like escalate the situation. So I wasn't trying to make him think I was like trying to stand up to him. So I wasn't making eye contact. So I was kind of just looking off to the side.
Okay. Where's Hosanna?
She's like right next to me.
What is she saying?
Well, at first I think she like it caught her off guard.
Okay. Did she ever say anything?
Yeah, she does.
What did she say?
She tells him to get off of me.
What do you do at that point?
When he turned around to look at her, I pushed him back.
Tell me about how you pushed him back.
So he's like right in front of my face, and when he turned to look at Hosanna, when she had told him to get off of me or get away from me, when he turned, I like just pushed him off me.
How hard did you push him?
Honestly, in that moment, I really don't know.
Okay. Where did he go?
He didn't go.
Well, I mean, you pushed him. What happened?
He went back.
Okay. Did he stumble over his feet?
Yeah, he stumbled over his feet, but he didn't fall to the ground.
Okay. Did he run into anything when you pushed him?
He kind of like grabbed the refrigerator.
Can you show us here? If you're in this corner still, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the refrigerator?
Like right here somewhere.
Okay. Yep. So is this the refrigerator?
Yeah, that's right there.
Okay. So you push him back. Does he come this way and grab onto the refrigerator?
Yeah, like on the side of it, kind of.
Okay. What do you do when he grabs onto the refrigerator?
During this whole moment, I grabbed Hosanna's hand. Then, yeah,
What happens?
I tried to leave.
Where did you go?
Towards the front door.
Okay. So now we are here, and
Yeah.
you are trying to get to the front door. Show me how that happens.
So he's like right here, like obviously out of balance after that. And so Hosanna was like right here. So I came this way and grabbed her hand and like we like ran, but I couldn't get the door open. It was like, I don't know if it was like my nerves getting in the way or like there's something wrong with the lock, which I still don't know, you know?
Okay. What happens at the door?
I couldn't get my hands to get it open.
Okay. And then what happened?
He pulled Hosanna.
When you had left the kitchen and went to the door, was Mr. Dickerson behind you?
Well, I wasn't looking back. Obviously, my only thing I was focusing on is getting to the front door.
Okay. When you get to the front door, you said he grabbed Hosanna's arm.
Well, he grabbed her like shirt. I don't know if he had grabbed her hand before that but like what I had seen, it was a shirt.
Okay. And then what happened?
I told him to leave her alone.
And what did you do after that?
So like I kind of like moved her, and then he pushed me
How did he push you?
onto the couch
Can you explain how he pushed you onto the couch?
with his hands.
Okay. Did he use both hands?
Yeah, he did.
When he pushed you, did you lose your balance?
Yeah,
How did you fall onto the couch?
kind of sideways.
Okay. Were you on your back?
I was more on my side.
Can you explain that a little bit? So if you're on your side on the couch, are you like like on a side like this, or just kind of halfway on the couch?
I was like all the way on the couch, but it was like, yeah, more on my side.
Where were your legs?
One was like kind of dangling off the couch. One was all the way on the couch.
Where were your arms?
Like this.
Okay. Where was Mr. Dickerson?
Right in front of me, but then
But then what?
he came on me.
What happened when he came on you?
I like just try to back up, but it like, so at this point, like I'm already like all the way on the couch.
Okay.
And so he gets on top of me and he's like holding my arms down. And he's like still yelling and he's like,
How was he holding your arms?
he was like kind of just up here. He was like cuffed, but it was like both of them. So he's like over me with one leg on the floor and then one leg was on me. And then he,
Okay. If you are on the couch, Mr. Dickerson is holding your arms like this. Is that fair to say?
yeah.
He has one leg on the ground
Mm-hmm.
and is the other leg up on the couch holding you down.
Yes.
Okay. Are you able to get away?
At that moment, no.
Did you try to wiggle away?
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Okay. What did you do?
I kind of just kept going, like, trying to, like, get his hands off me. And so I ended up, like, he just wouldn't get off me. So I ended up, like, I was trying to reach for something. So I ended up grabbing a bottle.
What kind of bottle?
I want to believe it was, I'm not 100% sure. It might have been a Budweiser, but at that point I was ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happens when you try to grab a bottle?
I ended up like barely reaching the tip of it. So I was like putting it closer, trying to reach it. And then I eventually got it with like the tips of my fingers. So I ended up like grabbing it. And I just went like that, but it went over him.
Okay. Where was the beer bottle when you grabbed it?
It was on the floor, like when you're like, when you're in like the couch, like, you know, like the part that like usually goes behind your legs.
Okay.
So like on the floor right in front of the couch.
Okay. Did you grab the top, like the neck of the bottle?
Yeah.
Was he still holding onto your arms?
Yeah, he was.
So how did you throw that?
I kind of just, he was still holding me down, but I just went like,
Okay. Did it hit him?
no.
Do you know where it went?
It went over him. I know that.
Okay. What happened after you threw the bottle?
And like the whole thing continued. And I just kept telling him, I was like, please, please, you know, like,
Okay. Did he get off of you?
no.
What happened next?
So I continued to yell at him, and I don't know why any other words didn't come out. Like, I don't know, like why I was just saying please at the moment, you know. But Hosanna goes and brings that thing he was just recently showing us.
Okay. Where did she get it from? Do you know?
You know, I didn't even see her. I wasn't at that moment, wasn't paying attention, like when or you know how long she had it, or like I don't know.
Did you ask her to grab it for you?
No, I didn't.
So she brings it over,
Yeah.
and then what happens?
He grabs it.
Did you feel that she was giving it to him?
For a long time, like I feel like my mind has went back and forth on it. Like she might have just not even been knowing what she was doing.
Okay.
Like in my opinion, you know, like she was drunk, you know, like, but like I feel like that's more of like a situation like where sometimes you won't react like fast, you know, like that's a situation where you have to like think like fast. And a lot of people don't think accurate when that happens. Like I don't think at that moment that she thought in my head like, this guy's, why would you bring that? Like, you know, the situation's already this, you know, like you bringing that is just gonna, yeah.
So he grabs it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens?
I was able to kind of like slide onto the floor.
Tell me how you were able to slide onto the floor.
So when he grabbed it, he got one hand off of me.
Okay. Where did he, so if, right, like you just saw me pretending that I was on top of you holding your arms down. He grabs it with what, how?
With that hand.
With this hand?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what does he do?
He grabs it, and then like I'm like obviously trying my hardest to like just leave from like away from him, you know? So I like got onto the floor, but like because only one of his legs was positioned on the floor. So sorry.
That's okay. Take your time.
When I had fell onto the floor, that one leg that he was keeping his balance on, he like obviously lost it because I went to the floor, you know? So when all that happened, I'm on the already going, so like he fell as well, but he pulled me, so like it was like kind of like a semi-roll.
Okay. When you all rolled, where did you roll onto?
The floor.
Okay. And then when you rolled onto the floor, how was he grabbing you? Was he grabbing you?
Yeah, he was grabbing me with my shirt right here.
Okay. With one hand.
Yeah, it would be his right hand.
What was his other hand doing?
Yeah, it was holding the thing.
Okay. What were you doing?
No, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry, I'm just like.
Take a moment.
Okay.
Okay. So you get onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing when he's holding onto you with one hand?
Obviously trying to get his hand away.
Okay.
Because when he grabbed me, he like went kind of like across and pulled me, you know? So.
When you were on the ground.
Yeah.
And his other hand had held that.
Yeah, but it was like he grabbed like. So like.
Do you want me to come over there?
Yeah. It was kind of like this hand went like on this side, so he kind of like grabbed me like
this.
Yeah, but like it was like
This?
yeah.
Okay. And then what?
So we rolled after that.
And then this hand has the metal file in it. So my right
Objection.
hand.
Counsel's testifying again. I'd ask her to come back to the lectern.
I'll allow the clarification given the witness's previous testimony.
It's up here in the right hand.
Yeah.
And while this is happening, are you on the ground? Okay.
Sure. Ms. Trujillo, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. Stacy, I want to just clarify one point, and then we will talk about what happened on the ground, okay?
Okay.
That shiv we've been talking about, did you believe that that had been used before in a violent situation?
Yes, I did.
Objection, same objection we previously had.
I'm sorry, give me just a second here. All right, Ms. Trujillo, I'll allow that limited question, but I'll ask that you mind my previous rule.
Yes.
Your Honor, may we just approach briefly?
Yes.
Okay. So Stacy, when we're talking about that file, okay, and you were shown that file by Mr. Dickerson, did you learn from him that that file had taken countless souls before?
Yeah, he did say that.
Okay. So I want to go back to the couch when he has that in his hand. What is happening when you were on the floor?
We're on the floor.
You're on the floor.
We kind of like, well, at this point, we're already on our sides.
Can you say what side you were on?
You're right.
Okay. Was he on his left?
Yeah, but he was like half laying down,
Okay.
and half on his side.
Half on his side?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened?
I sat up a little bit and I was trying to get it out of his hand.
You were trying to get out of his hand?
Yeah.
How?
So I went over him and I kept hitting his hand on the floor so he could let it go.
When you say you were getting over him, were you almost sitting up a little bit more?
Yeah.
Was he still on his side?
Yeah, why sat up?
Okay. And then you had two hands on his hands to get it off,
Yeah.
to get it out of his hands?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Objection leading.
I'll sustain that objection. If you want to rephrase, Ms. Trujillo, go ahead.
Did you have two hands on him?
On his one hand, yeah.
Okay. And why did you have two hands on him?
Because I'm obviously not strong enough to get it out of his hand with the one hand, but I was just trying to like hit it out of his hand. So like my hand was like on his palm and I was just hitting on the floor so he could let it go.
Okay. Where is his other hand?
On my shirt still.
In the same way that we just looked at grabbing you here?
No, it was like more down here at this point.
Okay. So is he consistently trying to grab you?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens after that?
He eventually let it go, and I grabbed it, but then he like pushed me with my face, and I fell back. And then, so at this point, it's already in my hand, you know? And so like, and I don't know how many times I had did it, but I just was like going like that. But like, yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me how, when you say I was just going like that, can you tell me what you were doing?
Well, it was in my hand.
Okay. And what was in your hand?
That thing.
Okay. And did you use that thing on Mr. Dickerson at that point?
Yes, I did.
How did you do that?
Well, I was just going like this.
Okay. Were you looking at it?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. What happened when you went like this?
Well, at that moment, I didn't think anything, you know? And then he still was continuing to grab me, so I was kept kicking him, and I sat up again. And that's when I just, that's when happened again, and it broke.
Okay. Is this difficult to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to ask you a few more questions, okay?
Okay.
When he gets up and you kind of get up and you said it broke, can you tell me how it broke?
Well, when I like, obviously like we're still fighting over this thing, you know? So when I had did it the last time, I like fell when I did it and it broke.
Okay. When you say you did it the last time, do you mean stabbing him the last time?
Yeah, but I didn't know there was more times before that one time.
Okay.
I didn't know that I had hit him.
Can you explain that to me? Like, why didn't you know?
Because I wasn't looking while I was doing it.
When did you realize it was more than once?
When I seen Discovery.
Okay. What happened when it broke?
I kind of like, because when I was, all this would happen, obviously, like I had felt like on him, you know?
Okay.
And I like scooted back, and I like had went on my butt, and then I just scooted back, like just with my legs. I pushed myself, and I like was slid back.
You said that you kind of fell on him and it broke. Can you tell me where you were sitting or how you were sitting before you fell?
I was like, I had one knee up, and the other one was like, ow.
Were you still on the floor?
Yeah.
One knee out, like you weren't balancing on that knee?
Oh, I was.
Objection calls for.
Give me just a
pleading,
second.
Calls for speculation.
I'll allow that question. The witness can answer.
You had one knee up and you said the other leg out. Can you explain to me? I can try to do this.
I was maintaining my balance on one knee.
Okay.
Well, the other one was like just.
You were leaning on one knee?
And Your Honor, I'll give permission for the witness to describe it. She can get down, but I don't think it's proper for counsel to testify and reenact it.
Okay, so I'm not interested what you're giving permission for anybody to do. That's something for me to determine. Ms. Trujillo, it appears to me that the witness has sufficiently been able to answer the questions without a demonstration, so I'll ask that you just continue to proceed
Okay.
with the questioning.
So you have the one knee that you're on and the metal file breaks. I want to ask you a little bit about the breaking part, okay? I'm not going to bring it to you, but I need to see it myself. When you saw this, there was a sharper end. Is that fair?
I believe so.
Okay. Is this the part that broke?
I think it was the other side that broke, because there was like a handle to it.
Okay. So the top part here that looks curved, was that always like that?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't believe so though.
Okay. Do you remember what the handle was made out of, or what it looked like for it to break?
Oh, I didn't really like get a close look at it. Like when he had showed it to us, it was like not close enough to get detailed, but I did see what it looked like. So I don't know where like I guess how would I say it? Where it would stop being like metal. I'm not sure about that part.
That's okay.
I just remember seeing like the grip. I don't know if it ended where the handle or like it continued. I don't know.
When you grabbed the file from him, did you look at it, manipulate it before doing something with it?
No, it was on the heat of the moment.
Sorry?
It was on the heat of the moment.
Okay. What made you finally sit back and scoop back?
When I had realized that it broke, and I obviously did it.
Was Mr. Dickerson moving at that point?
No, no,
Do you know?
no, I don't know. I just kept looking at my hand and like the whole thing that, yeah.
Okay. I want to take a pause right here, okay? Let's go to the kitchen.
Okay.
At what point in the kitchen did you feel the need to defend yourself?
When he was in my face.
Was this when his arms were on either side of you?
Yeah.
When you left the kitchen and tried to go out the front door, when did you feel like you needed to protect yourself?
When I what?
When you went into the kitchen, to the living room from the kitchen, and tried to leave the front door, when did you feel like you needed to protect yourself?
He grabbed Hosanna.
And why did you feel like you needed to protect yourself then?
Because I don't know what was his mindset at the moment.
Okay.
Like, obviously, like, after what he just did, you know, like, obviously I'm going to be very cautious, you know?
Was there ever a point when you were with Mr. Dickerson in the kitchen or the living room that you felt he could have killed you?
Yeah.
When was that?
When Hosanna came in with that thing and he grabbed it. Like, obviously, like, that's not the first thing that pops into somebody's head, you know? Like, not gonna think, like, oh, you know? Like, my thought, it was like, he's gonna fuck me up, you know? Like, I'm just gonna get beat up, you know? Like, that was my, like, initial thought with the whole thing before Hosanna had brought that.
Why did it shift for you when she brought that over?
Because obviously, like, that knife that he said he had used before, you know?
Okay. Did he ever make any motions where it looked like he was going to try to use that on you?
Well, yeah, it was in my face.
Okay. When you grabbed it out of his hand, did you feel that you had any other option?
No.
Did you feel that if you would not have acted, that you would be harmed?
Yeah.
That you could have been severely beat up?
Objection, lady.
I'll sustain the objection.
Did you feel like you could have been severely beat up?
Yes.
Did you feel like he could have killed you?
Yes.
Was that going through your mind at the time?
Yeah.
Is that why you acted?
Yes.
Stacy, did you feel like you had any other options?
No.
Ask and answer, Judge.
I'll allow the question.
No, right? Okay. I want to kind of talk about what happens afterwards, okay?
Okay.
Do you need a moment?
No, it's fine.
So you said that you scooted back and you were looking at your hands.
Yeah.
Can you remember kind of what happened afterwards, after you kind of got out of that moment?
I just dropped the thing right there on the floor.
Okay. And then what did you do?
I just kept looking at my hand
Why were you looking at your hand?
because it had blood on it.
What did you do after that?
I just sat there. I didn't know what to do.
Where was Hosanna?
Standing right there.
Did she say anything to you?
Not for a little bit.
Ultimately, did you get up off the floor?
Yeah, I stood up.
Where did you go?
I stood right there and I was like, just like I felt like I couldn't even feel my body, so I just didn't move, after I stood up.
How long did it kind of, I don't know if you can even answer, how long it took you to kind of start moving again?
I don't know.
Okay. So after you stand up and you're looking at your hand, did you ever move Mr. Dickerson?
No.
Did you go into any other part of the house after that?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
So do you want me to explain the whole thing?
Yes, please.
So after I had stood up, Hosanna had said, she was just like looking at me. I looked at her and like it was like, I don't know, I didn't say nothing. She was like, kill the dog. And I was like, what? Like, all I said was wet. And she kind of was like, oh, like, and then like, I kind of just like, I didn't know what to do. And she said, we need to check for cameras.
Did you?
I didn't. I kind of was just like, I feel like at this moment, like everything was like, I don't even know how to explain it.
Okay. Okay, so she said, we've got to look for cameras. What did you do?
I just watched her for a while. Thank you.
Okay. You just watched him for a little bit, you said?
Watched her.
Watched her.
Yeah.
What was Hosanna doing?
She went in the kitchen. She went under the sink.
Okay. What did she grab under the kitchen sink?
She grabbed this bottle that was like, it was like straight, but like the nozzle was like sideways.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was like I think it was like for the toilet, like when you go like that and it just.
Like the toilet bowl cleaner?
No, it wasn't the clean. It was like the clean solution.
Okay, the bottle of the toilet bowl cleaner.
Yeah.
Did you all talk about needing to clean up?
No, she just said she was gonna check for cameras and she started doing that.
Okay. What did she do with the toilet bowl cleaner?
She started putting it in the doorknobs.
Did she say why she was doing that?
No.
Did you try to stop her?
No, I did not.
Did you even think about trying to stop her?
No, I wasn't thinking at the moment.
So what happens after she's putting that on the doorknobs?
She tells me again, she's like, we have to look for the cameras. And I was like, what? Like I just kept saying what. She started getting frustrated.
You kept saying what, sorry?
I kept saying what.
What, okay.
Like, what are you saying, And she kept just getting frustrated.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then she kind of like pulled my hand a little bit to go to the room, so I just followed her in there.
When you went into the rooms, did you know what room was Mr. Dickerson's?
No, I did not.
Were you guys ever in the bedrooms when you were at the house prior to this happening?
No.
Okay.
But
So
also, when I went to go throw up, I don't know how long I was in there for. Because I remember rinsing off my face
Okay.
when I was drunk. This was before all of this happened.
Sure. Let's stick with you kind of just being drunk for a minute, okay?
Yeah.
When he had cornered you in the kitchen, how drunk did you feel?
I feel like, I don't want to say like I sobered up instantly, but I feel like it was like, I feel like that situation did sober me up. Like I knew exactly what was happening at that moment. I feel, you know?
Okay. You weren't as nauseous as you were before?
No, like that situation took all those feelings away.
What about in the living room? Did you feel drunk then?
No.
What about after, when Hosanna grabbed your hand and moved you into the bedroom? Did you feel pretty drunk then?
I feel like I couldn't feel my body.
Because of alcohol?
I think it's because of what happened.
Okay. Right. So let's go into the room. What happens in the room?
She starts looking everywhere. Like at first she like kind of just looked with her eyes, and she kind of like, in a sense, kind of like scanned the room down.
Okay. What happened?
And then she started looking through his stuff.
Did she say why?
No, I didn't even ask.
Did you help?
She had handed, I kind of was just like standing there, and she had put on some gloves, and I had asked her, I was like, why do you have gloves on? And she's like, here, he puts them on too.
What kind of gloves were these?
They look like the ones you wear when it's like cold outside.
Where did the gloves come from?
One of the bags. It was a backpack.
The black bag, you said?
A backpack.
A backpack, okay. Where was the backpack found?
And she found them in his closet.
In his closet. Okay. So you put gloves on. What do you do after you have your gloves on?
I was just doing the same thing. I was standing in the middle of the room, just looking at her. And I had only put one on. Okay. And I had put it on my left hand. I just kept looking at my hand.
Why did you put it on your left hand?
Because my right hand had blood on it, and I don't know why I kept looking at it.
Did you ever rummage through things in his room?
No.
You saw photos throughout this trial of Mr. Dickerson's bedroom. Do you remember seeing those?
Yeah.
And there were photos of a lot of bags on top of the bed, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember how those bags got on top of the bed, or were they already there?
I don't remember, like, if there was stuff on the bed, because I'm telling you, like, I was only focused, like, on my hand, you know, like, couldn't, believe what happened. Like, I didn't know what to do, you know? So that's what I was.
Did you ever see an engagement ring in the bedroom?
No, I didn't.
Did Hosanna ever tell you she found one?
I don't think she's ever, no.
You don't think she did?
No, she never talked about that.
So you said Hosanna had found a backpack, and you heard the prosecution throughout this trial and through discovery say that, or allege that you guys had taken the backpack. Does that sound familiar?
I didn't.
You didn't?
Mm-mm.
Did Hosanna?
Yeah, she was putting like random stuff. So she was leaving in and out of the room, and I was still just there, you know? And she came back from the other room, and she had 2 bottles of alcohol.
What kind of alcohol?
One was brown. I don't know what brand it was. Okay. It was a clear bottle but with brown liquid in it.
Okay. And what was the other one?
It was a Fireball.
Where did she find that? Do you know?
In the other room.
Were you with her in the other room?
No.
Did she just tell you that's where she found it?
No, I seen her.
But you weren't in the other room with her?
No.
Okay. How did you see her grab? You know what I mean?
So I was standing in the doorway of the room that we were in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So like if I was standing right here and the bed's like right here. And this is the closet. So I was standing right here, and then she goes all the way into this room. And I don't know what that room looks like. I never went in there. But she pulled these 2 bottles out of that room.
And so could you see her pull the 2 bottles out of the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she brings them over here.
And you're still over here?
I was really right here.
Okay. Okay. Then what happens after she brings the bottles out of that other room and meets you in Mr. Dickerson's room?
Oh, well, she sets them down in the corner of the bed, and she continues to look through stuff. And then she grabs a backpack. It was black. And she just dumps it out, like, whatever's in it. She, like, looks through it, too, but she grabs all kinds of stuff. Like, there was wires, like, and then those 2 bottles, and I don't know what else.
Okay. Did she end up taking that backpack?
Yeah.
When?
She took, when she left. But she also took, she came to me and she was mad and she took the gloves from me. And she, like, when she took it off, she pulled it off by my finger. So she, like, just snatched it off.
Okay. Did she seem upset?
Yeah.
Did she tell you why she was upset?
No, she was just kind of talking stuff. Like, she was like, fuck.
Did she seem panicked?
Honestly, at the moment, she seemed more angry.
Okay.
Like, at the beginning, when she had told me to kill the dog, she did seem like somewhat panicked.
Mm-hmm.
Not panicked, but I would say, like, more scared.
Okay. What happens after the room? Do you stay in there after she's putting these things in the backpack?
Well, after she took the gloves from me, she tells me, just go there and check on him. And I just looked at her, and I, like, didn't say nothing. She's like, hello, did you hear me? And I just shook my head no. Like I said, and she was like, stop acting dumb already. Like, she was like, don't make me mad. And then I went, and I kind of was like scared to go over there. So, like, I walked slowly out, out of the room. And so there's, like, when you come out the room and you turn right, there's your living room. So I had looked, and I kind of just, like, was, like, cautious, I feel, And then that's when I looked, and I had, like, seen him, and I had stood there for a while, and, like, I can hear her, like, saying something, but I feel like the feeling at the moment was, like, like, when you, like, if you're, like, at a construction site and you put the things in so you can, like, know something, but you like, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. Is that how you felt?
Yeah.
So did it feel as if you had almost like something to block out some noise but not all noise?
Yeah, it was kind of like, it's like blurred, kind of like, yeah.
So you go out into the living room to check on him. What do you see?
He's on the floor.
He's on the floor.
Yeah.
Is he moving?
No.
Do you know?
He wasn't moving at the time, or at least, like, from what I seen.
What were you feeling when you went out there and looked at him on the floor?
I was scared
What were you scared about?
that he was gonna get back up.
Did you go closer to him?
No, I just looked at him from a distance.
Does Hosanna come out of the bedroom?
Yeah.
What happens when she comes out?
She's still yelling something. I don't know what she was yelling. And I'm just kind of just looking at her like, what are you saying, And then she walks away, and I remember just, like, looking at her walk away. And she has the backpack on.
Okay. Where's she walking away to?
She outside.
What happens at that point?
Nothing. I just stood there for a while, just looking at him because I was like, he's gonna get up, you know?
Does she tell you, come on, let's go, get out of the house?
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
I was just stuck. I didn't know what to do.
We watched some surveillance videos from some neighbors, and it looked like there was one individual in the car around 5 o'clock in the morning. And then about 3 minutes later, another individual comes out of the home and gets into the car. Do you remember seeing that?
Yeah.
Who was in the car?
Hosanna was.
Are you the one walking back outside the house?
Yeah.
What were you doing for those 3 minutes inside by yourself?
I was just looking at him. It didn't feel like that long, you know?
Did you go back to his bedroom?
No.
Did you look in his pockets?
No, I didn't.
Did Hosanna look in his pockets?
I don't know.
So why did you leave the house and get in the car with Hosanna?
I didn't know what else to do.
When you were in the house and Hosanna was outside, did it ever cross your mind to call 911?
No.
Why not?
I couldn't think about nothing at the moment. Like, I was just scared.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to, like, build the courage to walk past him, to leave.
Why did it take you build the courage to walk past him? Well, first tell me why, and I might have some clarifying questions.
I thought that he was just trying to trick me, that he was just, like, pretending he was going to grab me as soon as I passed.
Why did you feel that way?
I don't know.
When you go to the car, we kind of watched you walk down to get into the car.
Yeah.
Why didn't you run?
I don't know.
Do you even remember why you acted that way at all?
No.
So you get in the car. Where do you guys go?
So she just starts driving. I don't know where she's driving to.
Are you telling her to go left, right, straight?
No, I was just sitting there, not talking.
So she's driving. Where do you end up?
We ended up at a gas station called the Cosmic Market.
Why did you go there?
I don't know why she went there.
What were you feeling in the car on the way there?
At that moment, I don't know, like, I was just didn't know what to do. Like at that moment, I was just focused on, because we're just sitting in the car and it's quiet, and I'm just like, can feel like the pulse in my neck, you know, like I can feel it, and it's just kind of like going, and I'm just like, and then like I kind of like, I feel like I was like breathing hard, you know, and like the way I felt was just, I feel like I can't explain it.
Yeah. Did you have your phone on you?
She had it.
Did you ask her for your phone at one point?
I did not.
Did you tell her we should call 911?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
So tell me what happens at the gas station.
She said, empty those water bottles that are in the back. We had pulled up, and I told her, I was like, I'm not hungry. And she's like, we're not fucking here for food. And I was like, just side-eyed her, and I was like, so she gets off, she puts this COVID mask on, and she tells me, empty those bottles that are in the back. And I just said, okay. She's like, and fill them up. And I was like, okay. So she goes inside. I don't believe she took that long, so I went and I filled them up.
Like this kind of water bottle?
I can't see it. Yeah.
So plastic?
Yeah, it was, yeah, regular water bottle.
Did you fill them up with gasoline?
Yes.
Why?
She told me to, but I was gonna put them in the back, and she's like, no, bring them up in front with you.
What did you think you were gonna do with those?
I didn't honestly wasn't thinking about that at the moment. Like, obviously, like, that was the last thing I assumed was gonna happen.
Did Hosanna tell you why she told you to fill up the water bottles?
No.
So you fill them up. Then what happens? Where do you go?
We started driving down 23rd again. And then I'm just in the same, like, I'm still feeling the same way, you know? And,
I just want to stop you real quick. When you say the same way, like feeling the pulse kind of same way?
yeah, like, I couldn't feel my body and stuff like that. Like, even when I was filling up, like, I kept, like, it was not even going in the bottle.
Okay. So you guys are driving on 23rd, and then what happens?
She makes a right.
Onto what?
I don't know what street it is. I know there's a school down that street on the right side, but I have no idea what street it is.
Okay. So what happens after she turns right?
I asked her what she was doing.
Does she respond?
She said, we're going back.
We're going back?
Yeah,
What did you tell her?
I didn't say nothing.
Did you want to go back?
No,
Why didn't you tell her no?
I don't know why.
Sorry?
I don't know why.
Okay. So you go back to the house?
Yeah.
What happens then? Well, let's break that down. You go back to the house. Do you go into the house?
Yeah, I do.
Why do you go into the house instead of Hosanna?
I don't know why she told me to go in there, but she told me to go in there and light everything on fire and to kill the dog.
Did you ask her for her to come with you?
No,
Why not?
I was just listening to what she was saying.
Okay, so you go back into the house. What do you do with the dog?
I put him in the backyard
Why?
because I didn't want anything bad to happen to him or her.
How did you put the dog in the backyard?
Ask and answer.
I'll sustain that objection.
I think I asked how, not what.
It says, I put him in the backyard. Why? Because I didn't want anything to happen to him or her. Oh, I'm sorry. Your question was, how did you put the dog in the backyard? Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Go ahead, Mr. Hio, if you'll re-ask that question.
Thank you. How did you put the dog in the backyard?
I just tapped my leg and he,
The reason I ask if that's helpful is looking at, right, when we're looking at the diagram of the house, did you have to go through the garage to put the dog outside?
yeah,
Where was the dog when you were in the house? If you remember.
I really don't remember.
That's okay. When you put the dog outside in the garage, do you do anything else in the garage?
No,
Do you close the door?
yeah, and I locked it.
Why'd you lock it?
I don't know why I locked it. I have no answer for that.
Okay. Okay, what happens when you go back inside the house?
I got stuck in the living room again.
Tell me what you mean by stuck.
Like I was coming back in and I had came in through like where the garage is at, and I could just from the distance just already see him, you know.
How did it make you feel to see him?
I was just, I don't know.
What happened after you went back in through the garage and saw him in the living room?
I went to the living room.
What did you do in there?
I stood in the doorway of the that separates the kitchen and the living room.
Okay. And then what did you do?
I just looked at him for a while, and I had swore that he was like moving, but I think it was just my nerves getting in the way of what I was seeing. Because with that, like, I'm not sure if he was or he wasn't, you know, but
Did you touch him?
no,
Okay.
I did not.
So what did you do?
I opened up the water bottles and I just threw them to the side.
When you said you just threw them, did you just open up the caps and just toss the bottles themselves?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
What happened after that?
I grabbed a piece of paper,
From where?
the kitchen table.
Do you remember what kind of paper this was?
No.
What did you do with it?
I lit it on fire.
How did you light the paper on fire?
With the lighter.
Sorry. With a lighter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did you do with the paper after you lit it with the lighter?
It burned like halfway, and it was like a pretty long piece of paper.
Okay.
So it burned like halfway, and then I just threw it to the floor.
You threw it to the floor?
Mm-hmm.
Was this by Mr. Dickerson?
It was more or less like in.
Would it help to look at this?
Well, yeah, it was kind of like against like the wall.
What wall? Like over here? Or were you in a bedroom?
Oh no, sorry. I'm looking at it wrong.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I thought that was the kitchen. I should.
That's okay. That's okay. So this is the living room, right?
Yeah.
You light this wall?
Yeah. Well, I was like right here and I had threw him. Yeah, I had to.
Okay, you just threw it from this area.
Yeah, I was like honestly just like